So today we are going to be crocheting this beautiful heart. We are going to start by making this spiral pattern made of shell stitches. Then we are going to go and make the ruffles afterward, and this is how it's going to be looking like. So for the materials, you're going to need yarn. I'm using a 5-ply yarn, milk cotton yarn made in China. I'll be using 4 packs. 1 is 50 gram, a 4.5 mm hook, a measuring tape, a darning needle, and a pair of scissors. You're going to start by making a slip knot. However way you do yours, this is how I make mine. So I'm just going to go ahead and make my slip knot. Yarn over, I'm going to pull through, then I'm going to remove my finger from that hole and just pull. So there I have my slip knot. So I'm just going to go ahead and make a chain of 5. That's the second, third, fourth, and the fifth. Then what I'm going to do now is to make a slip stitch into the very first stitch. So I'm just going to insert my hook right there, and I'm going to yarn over. I pull through that stitch, then I pull through the second stitch. So I'm going to go ahead and chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and literally what we have now is like a magic circle, and into that circle I'm going to place 14 double crochet stitches plus the chain 3 we just did is going to be 15 in total. So just go ahead and make your double crochet stitches, and I will meet you when you have 15 double crochet stitches all in total. Also, if you are just comfortable with doing a traditional magic ring, you can just go ahead and do that, and then you place 15 double crochet stitches in it. And let me show you what we are going to do next. So right now I have my 15 double crochet stitches. What I'm going to do is to slip stitch at the top of the chain 3 we did at the beginning. So I'm just going to make a slip stitch right there to close off this round. You're just going to pull through, and then you pull through the second loop again. Okay, so this is how our round 1 is looking like. So I'm just going to pull that tail to close the hole well. Then we'll go ahead to chain 3. To start round 2, we are going to do a single front post double crochet into the same stitch we did a slip stitch. So you insert your hook behind the stitch like this, then you pull your yarn through like this, and then you pull through the 2 loops we have on the hook. So that is a single crochet front post. Then you are going to chain 2, and into the very next stitch we are going to do a front post double crochet. You insert your hook from the back coming towards the front, and then you do a double crochet. So that is a front post double crochet. Into the next stitch, insert your hook from behind, you yarn over, you pull through 2, and you pull through the remaining 2. So you're going to repeat this into every stitch. We're going to do a front post double crochet till we get back to our starting point, which is the single crochet front post and the chain 2 we did at the beginning. Okay, so now we have gone round and we have come back to our starting point. We are going to insert our hook into the chain 2 we did, and we're going to do a slip stitch, and on that same stitch that we did a slip stitch, we are going to do a front post single crochet like this, and then we'll go ahead and chain 2, and then in the space between the stitch we did a slip stitch and our next front post, we are going to do a regular double crochet, and after that we are going to do a front post double crochet into our previous front post stitch, and then in the space between the 2 stitches we are going to place a regular double crochet, and then the next stitch we are going to do a front post double crochet. In the space between the two front posts we are going to do a regular double crochet. So this is how we are going to be alternating till we get back to our starting point. Regular double crochet between the spaces and a front post double crochet into every stitch. Okay, now that we have come back to our starting point, we are just going to do our last double crochet in between our last front post and our chain 2. Then we are just going to do a slip stitch to connect this round, and so we are done with round 2. Now we are going to go ahead to do a front post single crochet into the same stitch that we did our slip stitch, and then we are going to chain 2, and in the space between that chain 2 and this double crochet we did in our previous row, we are going to place 2 regular double crochet stitches, and then we are going to skip the double crochet we did in our previous row and do a post into the next stitch, which is also a post we did in our previous row. And after that, in the space in between our post and our last double crochet, we are still going to place 2 regular double crochet stitches there, and then we'll skip the double crochet we did in our last round, and into the next post we are going to do another double crochet, front post double crochet. So we are just going to keep repeating this pattern till we come right back to where we started with our front post single crochet, chain 2. I just did my last post double crochet stitches, so in between this post and my single double crochet from my previous row, I'm going to place 2 double crochet stitches, and then I'm going to skip that double crochet, and into the chain 2 we did at the beginning of this round, I am going to do a slip stitch to join the round. So after doing my slip stitch into that same stitch, I'm going to do a front post single crochet stitch, then I'll go ahead and chain 2, and then in the space between I'm going to place 3 double crochet stitches. This is the second one and the third. Then I'm going to skip the 2 double crochet stitches we did in our previous round, and I'll do a front post double crochet into my post there, my post stitch. Then in the space in between the front post and the 2 double crochet stitches from my previous round, I am going to place 3 double crochet stitches. Then I'll go ahead and skip the 2 double crochet stitches and do a front post into the next stitch. So that is a pattern for this round. I'm just going to keep repeating that till I get back to my starting point where we have our chain 2. 3 double crochet stitches into the spaces, we skip the 2 double crochet stitches and do a front post double crochet into the next stitch. I'll see you at the end of the round. So now I've made it to the end of my round. I'm just going to do a slip stitch to connect that round, and then into that same stitch where I did my slip stitch, I'm going to do a front post single crochet stitch, then I'll go ahead and chain 2, and in the space between that stitch and our 3 double crochet stitches, I am going to place 4 double crochet stitches right there. So this is second, third, and the last one. When I'm done with my 4 double crochet stitches, I'm going to skip the 3 double crochet stitches from my previous row, and then I'm going to do a front post double crochet stitch into the next stitch. Then again, in that space between the post and the 3 double crochet stitches, I am going to place 4 double crochet stitches. 2, 3, and the last one. Then I'm going to skip the 3 double crochet stitches and do a front post double crochet stitch into the next stitch, which is also my post from my previous round. So I'm just going to keep repeating this pattern till I get to the end. I am at the end right now, so I'm just going to do a slip stitch to join the round. And this is how our work is looking like right now. We started with 1 double crochet stitch in between the poses, then we went to 2 double crochet stitch, 3 double crochet stitches, and we are now at 4 double crochet stitches. So basically we are doing an increase from our magic ring. We have been increasing, and for this round right now we're just going to do a front post single crochet stitch as we have been doing, and we'll go ahead and chain 2, and in the space between that stitch and our 4 double crochet stitches, we are going to place 4 double crochet stitches. 1, 2, 3, and the 4th one. Then we are going to skip the 4 double crochet stitches from our previous round, and into the next stitch we are going to make a front post double crochet stitch. Then in between the space of the front post and our 4 double crochet stitches, I am going to place 4 double crochet stitches. So that's the second, third, and the 4th. So I'm just going to keep repeating this round, 4 double crochet stitches into every space, then I skip the 4 double crochet stitches from my previous round and do a front post into the next stitch. So this is what I have right now. I just did my 4 double crochet stitches, so I'm going to skip the 4, and then I'll do a slip stitch to close that round. At this point, I think I already got the measurement of my crown, so let's just go ahead and measure. It's giving 6 inches, and that is okay for my hat. What I'm going to do right now is a front post single crochet as usual on the same stitch where we did our slip stitch, chain 2, and we are going to repeat this round of 4 double crochet stitches into every space, and then we skip our 4 double crochet stitches. We do a front post double crochet stitch. So we are just basically repeating our previous round. Repeat this row till you have 7 inches. So right now my hat is measuring 7 inches. Look at the pattern. I love the spiral pattern. It's so cute. So we are going to go to our second stage of the hat, which is the ruffles. But before we do that, we are going to chain 1 and then we're going to place a single crochet stitch into every stitch round the hat till we come back to our starting point. So just go ahead and place a single crochet into every stitch. This is just going to make the stitch a little bit firm before we start our ruffles. Okay, I'll just meet you at the end when you're done with your single crochet stitches. So I've reached the end. I'm just going to do a slip stitch to close off that round. And then for our ruffles, I love to do triple crochet stitches for my ruffles because it makes them to fill up fast and give it that thickness. So I'll be doing 2 rounds of ruffles. So we are going to start by chaining 4 and then yarn over twice, and in that same hook stitch you're going to insert your hook, pull a loop through, pull through 2, pull through 2, and pull through the remaining 2. Yarn over twice again, insert your hook, pull up a loop, pull through 2, pull through 2, and pull through the remaining 2. So we are going to put 5 triple crochet stitches into every stitch. This is the pattern for the first round of ruffles. And when you have your 5 triple crochet stitches, you just go to the next stitch. You don't need to chain. Go directly to the next stitch and place 5 triple crochet stitches in it too. And you're going to repeat that for the whole of this round, and I'll meet you at the end. So we are done with our first round of ruffles. We are just going to slip stitch at the top of the chain 4 we did at the beginning, right there. And then for our second round of ruffles, we are going to chain 4, and I'll be placing 4 triple crochet stitches into every stitch. You can choose whatever number you want to do. You could still place 5 triple crochet stitches into every stitch. You could place 3 triple crochet into every stitch. The amount of stitches you're going to put is going to determine how thick your ruffles are going to be. So I think 4 is okay for me. If you want to do 5, go ahead. If you want to do 3, you want to do 2, it's all up to you. But I'll be putting 4 triple crochet stitches into every stitch till I come back to my starting point. So this is how our first row of ruffles is looking like. The ruffles are not popping yet, but that's how it looks like. So let me continue my second round and I'll show you how it looks like. So we are at the end of my second round. I'm just going to slip stitch at the top of the chain 4 we did at the beginning. Then I'm going to chain 1. Then I'll cut off my yarn, grab my scissors, I'll just cut it off. Then I'll pull the yarn to secure my ending right there. Then I'm going to go ahead and grab my darning needle. I'm just going to thread that right there, and then I'll try and hide the tail of my yarn. And I believe I am done. So look at how cute everything is looking. I like the spiral nature of the hat. It looks so good. I love the color. So thank you very much for watching. Please do leave a like, comment, subscribe and share. God bless you.